Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Josh, and this is your stimulus check update for the next stimulus package for Tuesday, December 1st. I hope everyone is off to a good and safe start to the Tuesday so far, as we finally start a new month. In this video, I'll be discussing updates in regard to the next relief package and the second stimulus check. I'll also be discussing unemployment, what lawmakers have on their plates as top priorities over the next couple of weeks. And then I'll be wrapping up this video by answering some of the comments and questions that I received in my previous video. But first, if you wouldn't mind really quickly liking this video, giving me a big thumbs up. It really just helps with the YouTube algorithm in terms of pushing this video out to other viewers like you, and hopefully helping other people like you as well. Okay, so our lawmakers are finally back in Washington, where they look to have one of the busiest lame duck sessions in recent memory. In just 9 legislative days, the spending for the federal government expires. And even though Republicans and Democrats are both confident Congress can pass another spending deal by December 11th in order to avoid a partial government shutdown, they are much less confident about passing a stimulus package. However, some aides have made a case that it's possible Congress could add some stimulus provisions to the government spending bill in order to at least help out a little bit. Of course, it's unknown what those stimulus provisions could be, and whether or not Pelosi would want them in there without a broader package. Another thing Congress will also be focusing on over the next couple weeks is finalizing their bipartisan bill for the National Defense Authorization Act. Even though Democrats and Republicans look to pass that bill with ease, President Trump has been opposed to it and even threatened to veto it due to the provision that would allow military bases with Confederate leaders to be renamed. So with millions going hungry and possibly 30 million Americans being evicted in the next few months, lawmakers are choosing to instead focus on other things. As Missouri Senator Roy Blunt put it in a recent interview on CNN, it's a huge failure on the part of Congress. Blunt also noted that Republicans were ready to put funding into vaccine distribution, small business aid, direct payments to individuals, and bolstered unemployment benefits. He said that Democrats are sticking to their larger number they had in the lead up to the election. So again, the main hope at the moment, with so many other things on our lawmakers' plate, is to add some type of stimulus into the government funding bill. Even though there hasn't been any really good negotiations going on between Mitch McConnell and Nancy Pelosi as of late, there have at least been some bipartisan conversations taking place among rank-and-file members of both parties. Even though the talks are not formal, Republican Senator Mitt Romney and Democratic Senator Chris Coons are two of the parties involved. So we can at least take this as a sign that some members still want to get some type of aid passed before the end of this year. But you really have to wonder, why are Senator Coons and Senator Romney, among other rank-and-file members, doing the talking? Where's Nancy Pelosi? Where's Mitch McConnell? Where is the strong bipartisan effort to get something done by the end of this year between our Democratic and Republican leaders? By December 31st, there are several provisions from the CARES Act and President Trump's executive order that are going to expire. These include the federal eviction moratorium, the deferment of student loan payments, the expansion of unemployment insurance to include gig workers, and the increase in the number of weeks Americans can be on unemployment from 26 weeks up to 39 weeks. Other than that, Americans could really use a second round of stimulus payments and an extension of the federal unemployment benefits. Small businesses could certainly use another round of the Paycheck Protection Program, which would allow them to stay open during the rise in the virus and keep their employees hired on as well. But instead of focusing on those issues, the House will instead be returning to Washington tomorrow to vote on legislation concerning restrictions on Chinese companies listed on US exchanges. And then, later on in the week, they plan to vote on another bill to decriminalize marijuana. So, real exciting stuff there. You can tell they really have their priorities in line in Washington. In the description box below, I will once again be leaving links where you can contact both Mitch McConnell and Nancy Pelosi. As always, I will urge you to send them a quick message if you have the time, letting them know how important another relief package is to you and your family. Even though one message may not make a big difference, in numbers we can definitely make a change. In the meantime, just continue to hang in there, stay strong, and hope for the best. In unemployment news, one Wisconsin resident just received nearly $20,000 in payments. To be exact, these were unemployment benefits that Nikki McMillan had applied for way back in April that she just now finally received. After losing her job due to the pandemic, she was forced to file for unemployment benefits just to make ends meet, and then later ended up being evicted, presumably from not being able to make her monthly payments. So you can only imagine her relief when she received the near $20,000 lump sum payment, which has allowed her to since get back up on her feet. Now, she's not the only person who had to wait this long, and sadly, there are many stories out there just like hers where people are still waiting for their unemployment benefits. McMillan's words of advice for those still waiting for their unemployment pay is just to keep fighting. Keep going, it's your money, and you absolutely deserve it. There's always brighter days ahead. Just keep going. And I couldn't have said it any better myself. Okay, so at this point in time, I'm going to move right along to answering some of the comments and questions that I received in my previous video. And if you do have any other comments or questions for me, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I do try to answer as many of the comments and questions as I possibly can, but for those comments and questions I'm not able to respond to, I do try to pick some of the more popular ones to answer in the next video in video form. Okay, so without further ado, let me go ahead and jump into the first comment of today's video, which is from Deborah. Deborah says, do you think the American people are going to get stimulus checks before Christmas? Okay, thank you so much for your question, and really, it's still largely up in the air. If we have any chance of receiving the second stimulus check before Christmas, our lawmakers will need to pass the next bill within the next couple of weeks. Even after they pass the bill, the checks will still take at least a week or two for them to be sent out, so there's also the question on when we'll actually receive them once the bill is passed. At this point though, with the limited amount of time our lawmakers have, I'd say it's unlikely to receive anything by Christmas. More realistically, we may be looking more at January or February before we receive the next payment. With that said, I'll definitely make sure to keep you updated one way or another. Okay, moving right along to the next question in today's video, which is from Jackie. Jackie says, good morning, Josh. I would like to know if in the small stimulus bill that you're talking about, if everyone received $1,200, I would also like to know the increase that people on Social Security benefits are going to receive this year. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much for your question, Jackie. And first off, everyone who received the first stimulus payment should also be receiving the second stimulus check as well. This includes people on Social Security benefits such as survivors, retirement, and disability. As far as the increase for those on Social Security benefits in 2021, there's going to be a 1.3% increase for the cost of living adjustment. One of Joe Biden's proposals is also to increase checks for those on Social Security benefits by $200 per month. However, in order for that to happen, Congress will need to pass a bill first. So Biden won't be able to come in on his first day, for example, and issue an executive order for that. Like anything else, he'll need to push for lawmakers to pass a bill before he's able to sign it into law. Okay, moving right along to the next comment of today's video, which is from Chuck. Chuck says, we still haven't received our first stimulus check or the unemployment checks. The IRS has our mailing address and everything, but we are still waiting. Okay, thank you so much for your comment, Chuck, and I'm so sorry that you're still waiting for your first stimulus payment and your unemployment benefits. I know it can't be easy. As far as the stimulus check goes, as long as you start receiving your Social Security benefits before this year, then you should not have to take any action to receive it. In the meantime, I just recommend that you continue to check the payment portal for any updates on when you should expect to receive it. You can also try calling the IRS at 1-800-919-9835, and the only recommendation that I would have for you is to call just a little bit earlier in the day just to avoid those longer hold times. As far as the unemployment goes, if you're still waiting, then I would attempt to contact your state's unemployment office. I know they're not always the easiest to get a hold of, but don't give up. Unfortunately, many states' unemployment offices are extremely backed up and still processing payments for many of their residents. Eventually, you will receive your payment, but let's hope that it doesn't take too much longer. Again, I am truly sorry for your long wait on these benefits. Alright, moving right along to the last question of today's video, which is from Sean. Sean says, what about foreign exchange students? Do they receive a stimulus check? Okay, thank you so much for your question, Sean. And foreign exchange students are not eligible to receive a stimulus payment. For the first round of stimulus payments, they made it so international students on J1 and F1 visas are ineligible to receive them because they are considered non-resident aliens. Unlike in Canada and New Zealand, the United States only sent stimulus payments to residents and citizens of our country. Apparently, some international students actually received stimulus payments that were sent to them by accident, but they were forced to send them back. Now, for the second round, it's quite possible that may change, and I'll definitely make sure to keep you updated. Alright, so on that note, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. If you did enjoy the content in this video, and you'd like to see more videos like it, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. It is completely free to do so, and it's a great support to me. Also, if you'd like to receive 2 free stocks from Webull, with both stocks valued all the way up to $1,600, please feel free to claim those 2 free stocks by clicking the link in the description box below. And until next time, I'll see you guys, and I hope you have a great day today.